sorry, that's for a Democrat show.
Let me know when you're ready.
Was an extremely great conservative commentator. We're tearing it up on Wednesday night. This is awesome. This
will allow me to retort.
Well, this is Jersey Joe for the Reaver Common Sense Show. I'm on shrmedia.com.
Actually, I just totally screwed up. This show contains language that some viewers may find offensive. Listener discretion is advised. And now on to the show. And welcome back to the Reaver Common Sense Show. I am your host, Jersey Joe, making sense out of the senseless. The Jersey Takeover is back, and we are doing 2 hours every Monday through Friday, 9 p.m. to 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. It's been a while. It's been a long, long time. I think over a year. Between some medical issues and professional issues. Which I started another business. And I was getting that off the ground. It's been a very, very busy year. And it blew by like no tomorrow. Dumbass me didn't even get everything set up. You know, work on it yesterday. Or work on it the day before. 8:30 is when I started going, oh, shit, I got to work on the computer, make sure everything is up and running. So if my levels are off, I'm sure somebody will tell me that they are. Oh, man, it's good to be back. I know I have been talking to Sackett, Sean here and there, and even BZ. And the question always was, when are you coming back? When are you returning? Well, here I am. We do have a sponsor for the show. It's Antros Custom Wood. You can go to www.antros, that's A-N-T-R-O-B as in boy, U-S.O-N-E. For any of your custom wood needs, they do these beautiful slabs of wood. It's like a cross-section from a stump. So you can get all the rings. And they turn that into like end tables, coffee tables. Pretty sure they can get one big enough you could do a kitchen table. And the one I saw had looked like either a cypress or oak top with a cedar bottom. The cedar was from the root ball of the tree, where all the roots are coming out, and it was all cut back nicely and cut, and it just looks beautiful. So it kind of looks like a tree still, a little bit like a mushroom. And live edge river tables. What that is they take the inside. Usually they take live edge wood. And if you don't know what live edge wood is, it's the underneath of where the bark is. It's the live edge, the part that points out to us. And they cut these boards out of them, and they'll flip it so that curve is in the middle. And then they take epoxy, and it's a 2-part resin, and they pour that in there. And, they add different stuff inside of it, colors, items, so forth and so on. And it gives this beautiful view. The one that I saw looked like pebbles in it. Clear pebbles. With a little bit of a chrome look. So, I listed custom canes, custom walking sticks. I mean, almost you name it, they'll build it. Kitchen tables, dining room tables, farm kitchen tables. They love either the 2 items of wood that they like to use is either reclaimed wood. And what I mean by that is like a barn that's been taken down. An old house. Or directly from a tree that has been cut. They do these candle holders from the branches, and check them out. It's www.antrob as in boy us.one. Oh. All right, let's see. Where are we with? There has been so much bullshit going on. Oh my God. Whew. I might have been busy doing some other stuff, but holy shit, I've paid attention to the news. And Trump is just hitting it out of the park. He's just like going down his little checklist of this is what I campaign promise, one by one. Going right down the list. It's unbelievable. We're going to get more into everything, and the one thing I notice he's doing that he does so beautifully, and the left has been told what he's doing, and yet they still don't listen. They don't listen. He is making the left show their true colors. Example, the socialism. They're really out in the open now, admitting that they want socialism. Their abortion views are really coming out. I mean, look at, what is it, New York, up until the moment of birth, I think it is, you can pop the kid out and abort it. It's showing the true Democrat. And it's sickening what we're seeing. And anybody voting Democrat right now just has to have their, has to have their head examined. I don't know. I can't even come up with words how disgusted I am with these Democrats. Especially when it comes to anything that Trump approves of, they disapprove of. We got how many senators and House members on the Democrat side that voted for border security, voted for walls, voted for fences, and now that Trump wants it, they shut the government down on it. And yes, I said they shut the government down. They chose not to work with the Republicans. I'm not saying they had to give in. I'm saying work with them, compromise. And from what I'm reading here and there and hearing, there's been a compromise came about. I don't know if Trump's going to sign it. But at this point, as long as there's nothing majorly negative in it, it's only 1.3, I think 1.5 billion dollars. Sign it. Now really put the screws to the Democrats. DOD, build a wall. Section 10 of U.S. Code gives the power of the president to order DOD for security purposes, securing the border, to start putting up a wall. Don't need Congress's approval. Don't need Schumer's. Don't need Nancy Pelosi's. Don't need AOC's. Doesn't even need McConnell's permission. He doesn't even have to call a national emergency. He could just say, build the wall. Boom. They start building. All right, we're going to go over this article. I saw it, and it just put a big smile on my face. Do you remember when Obama was in office, and all of a sudden, all scientists, 97% of them, 97% of the scientists that wrote a paper saying there's global warming still agree with their paper's finding. Okay? But now, 30,000 scientists 30,000 scientists, that's a staggering number, have declared climate change a hoax. They're just figuring it out. But the problem is they haven't not been allowed to talk freely without some kinds of repercussions in the past. But now they're able to come out and speak the truth. They've come forward confirming that man-made climate change is a hoax perpetuated by the elite in order to make money. If you've listened to my shows in the past, some of the first shows I did was the hoax on the climate change and how it was a pyramid scheme, basically. How it just made money. You know? Look at how much Al Gore has made off of his little crusade to prop up this false hope. The one part I did just about made myself piss my pants laughing is the other day there was the Democrat that announced that she's running for president. I can't remember all their names. There's so many of them already. And she's talking about how climate change and the warming is number one problem in this country. Which is okay. All of them say that a lot. But she was saying it in the middle of a snowstorm, standing outside, looking like Frosty the fucking Snowman. And she's going to sit there and talk about how there's global warming. And you have AOC. I mean, that woman just she's the gift that keeps on giving. And what I mean, just the comments that come out of her mouth. Holy shit. The world is going to end in 12 years. Oh, my God. The sky has fallen. The sky has fallen. The sky has fallen. Damn. These people just don't get it. One of the experts is Weather Channel founder John Coleman, who warns that huge fortunes are being made by man-made climate change proponents such as Al Gore. I mean, that's just what I was talking about. In a recent interview with Climate Depot, Coleman said, Al Gore may emerge from the shadows to declare victory in the global warming debate if Hillary Clinton moves into the White House. Yes, if that happens and the new climate regulations become the law of the land, they will be next to impossible to overturn for the next 4 to 8 years. Now, he said that 2 years ago, 3 years ago. Al Gore's dire predictions of the melting of polar ice on a massive scale have provided to be completely false. But the problem is, if you go talk to a Democrat, they'll say bullshit. Because they're told that the ice is melting. It's all gone. Don't look. How many of those studies have been done, or at least attempted? They're going to go to the Arctic or Antarctic, and every time they do, I think it's like the last 5 times, 6 times, too much ice, got iced in, too cold. I look at the weather we're having up north this year. Holy shit, like frigid polar temperatures in some cases. It was like, what, minus 15 or something in Chicago recently? Again, that's not to say, because you get the liberals, oh my God, you don't care about planet Earth. Don't go to that extreme. I'm not saying we should be polluting. And if you look at it, you dumbasses, the pollution is not coming from us. It's coming from China. It's coming from Europe. It's coming from the Middle East. It's not coming from the United States. Asia is one of the main contributors, not us. So stop pouncing all over us. You want us to keep cutting back. What is it? AOC's, I can't remember, Alexia, something, socialist, annoying. She reminds me of like a little chihuahua. Not because she's Hispanic, but because she's just like that nonstop. Not going to hurt you, but it's just that little. That's what she reminds me of. Let's see. Top scientist resigns. Global warming is a $1 trillion scam. It has corrupted many scientists. And this is, in fact, 2014, a year that was touted as being the hottest ever in the Earth's history. There were a record amount of ice reported in Antarctica, an increase in Arctic ice, and record snowfalls across the globe. Now, I'm not going to say a lot of these scientists are corrupt. It's the politicians that have corrupted the institutions that were investigating this. And there's been plenty of people that have come out of, the OCCA or something like that. And they said they left because the politicians have destroyed and corrupted the whole system of the science. Because you cannot sit there like Obama, the science is settled. No, you can't do that. Science is never settled. They're still debating Einstein's theories. They're debating Hawkins. You know, science is ever-changing studies. You're always challenging what you are talking about. And they don't want that. You can't challenge them, because if you challenge them, they have nothing to come back on you. And here it goes. The article is into debunking the 97% lie. On top of those inconvenient truths, the White House assertion that 97% of scientists agree that global warming is real has been completely debunked. Several independent research examinations of the literature used to support the 97% statement found that the conclusions were cherry-picked and misleading. More objective surveys have revealed that there is a far greater diversity of opinion among scientists than the global warming crowd would like for you to behave. Now, real quick, and I brought this up with a debate with, I think it was my in-laws. You get these conventions for global warming conventions for leaders of the world to discuss how they're going to save the day. And they all fly private jets. And it's like several hundred jets flying. Do you know how much pollution they just cause? Going to a conference, I should say. Going to a conference about global warming and stopping pollution. What it comes down to is they do not want to be brain fart. I just had the words in my head out of my head. They don't want to be inconvenienced. They still want their luxuries. They want us, the peons, because that's what these people think of us. We're peons. They're better than us. They are above us. Well, it's... I don't totally agree with that. Listen, we're going to hit our first break here in a moment. Listen, everybody that's listening, thank you for tuning back in. It's been a while. I've enjoyed, or I should say I've missed, and I've been enjoying my time back so far. Then again, it's only been 20 minutes, and Sackhead Sean hasn't bothered me. But I know, a private joke, nobody probably gets it, but we're here, and we're going to have some fun. You've been listening to the Reaver Common Sense right here on SHR Media, and we will be right back.
Conservative media done right. You're listening to the SHR Media Network.
You're listening to the SHR Media Network.
Good evening. Broadcasting behind enemy lines in occupied California, the bloviating Zeppelin's Berserk Bobcat Saloon radio show is featured on the SHR Media Network every Tuesday and Thursday night for 2 hours at 11 p.m. Eastern and 8 p.m. Pacific. Whilst manufacturers are running out of metal for the diapers of the leftists, BZ continues to radically change the world of leftists, one diaper at a time. Stop balancing your checkbooks. Stop cleaning your fish tanks. The bloviating Zeppelin's Berserk Bobcat Saloon radio show is your magnet for truth, justice, obesity, a darkened studio, and late-night freedom. No United States of America freedoms were abridged in the making of this ad.
Human by race, Christian by faith, American by nationality, and conservative by choice. Reverend Ralph J. Chittum Sr. is the right guy on SHR Media from 8:05 to 9 p.m. Monday through Friday. And if on the rare occasion I am ever wrong, I will still always be right. The right guy on SHR Media.
In a world controlled by corrupt politicians, a team of ordinary men emerge from the ashes to give voice to the voiceless, hope to the hopeless, clues to the clueless. Sackheads Sean, Sackheads Clint, and Sackheads BZ. The Sackheads Radio Show every Wednesday at 8 p.m. Pacific and 11 p.m. Eastern on shrmedia.com. Watch on YouTube, Facebook, and the High Plains Pundit Network. The best in late-night conservative talk. The Sackheads Radio Show, only on the SHR Media Network.
Go ahead, I'll say it again. Some of the best A-roll is going to be B-roll. Like, what are you talking about? What do you mean? Just the last question that you really cut in a couple seconds. Yeah, I'm a freaking artist. I can't just come up with this shit off the top of my head. Are you freaking kidding me right now?
Good point. Exactly right. Oh, God.
Hey, this is Michael Wright.
And I'm Shannon Wright.
Join us for The Right Way with Shannon and Mike, Monday through Thursday from 7 to 9 a.m. right here on SHR Media.
Why are they joining us?
For fun things like sports, politics.
Oh, maybe some news and entertainment?
And all kinds of other things.
Money and recipes and events, all kinds of stuff.
Yeah, so join us Monday through Thursday, 7 to 9 a.m. here on shrmedia.com.
When dirty politicians, shadow governments, and deceptive Islam blind the world with fake stream media smoke, their only fear is one man with a cane. I'm Dave Milner. Join me through shrmedia.com, highplainstalkradio.com, and the Western Free Radio Network at Spreaker, YouTube, and iTunes for a different perspective weekly on the Unpleasant Blind Guy. And catch me on Jeff Mitchell's EDL Radio on blogtalkradio.com. There's
no surrender ever.
Because truth is not always pleasant.
This is Sam on SHR Media. You can listen to my new show starting on Tuesdays in January. Get my perspective on national politics, a conservative's perspective on California politics, the latest in the war on terror, all of that and a lot more here on Tuesdays at SHR Media. And don't forget to follow me on Twitter at Sam_SHR Media.
Beware, the Jersey Takeover is here. Every Monday through Friday, 9 p.m. to 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, you can catch Reaver Common Sense Show hosted by Jersey Joe, right here on shrmedia.com. Only Jersey can deliver hell like no one else. So consider this your fair warning.
Hey, this is Sackhead Clint, and I'm with Sackhead Sean, Sackhead BZ. No communists allowed on the SHR Media Network.
Damn straight, mister.
Back to the show.
Conservative media done right. You're listening to the SHR Media Network.
You're listening to the Reaver of Common Sense here on the SHR Media Network. Hey, Sean, you ever see a one-eared elephant?
No.
Check this out.
Oh, that's so tiny.
This show contains language that some viewers may find offensive. Listener discretion is advised. And now on to the show. And welcome back to the Reaver of Common Sense. I I don't understand everything that's going on in this world sometimes. I really wonder. I really do. Is greed that much motivator for these idiots that they would do everything to destroy this country for power? I guess that's kind of stupid of me to even ask, but I just, oh man. I don't know. Oh, where were we? Oh, yeah, don't forget this show is sponsored by Antrobus Custom Wood. They don't just do work in wood. They oil paintings, do a lot with the resin. 2-part epoxy resin. It's beautiful, beautiful stuff that comes out. It's like a liquid glass that's poured on. I don't know. I know nothing. I'll make sure I'm on. I wanted to make sure I'm not talking to myself. Well, probably am, but we were talking about the global warming, and scientists are coming out finally and admitting it's a big goddamn hoax. This is from the National Review, a 2008 survey by 2 German scientists, Dennis Bray and Hans von Storch, found that a significant number of scientists were skeptical of the ability of existing global climate models to accurately predict global temperatures, precipitation, sea level changes, or extreme weather events, even over a decade. They were far more skeptical as the time horizon increased. Well, why they increased is, all right. AOC saying that that there will be end of the world in 12 years. Well, a lot of us will be around 12 years, and we'll see that they are wrong again. So what they're trying to do is put it to a point where we'll never see. Most of us will never see 100 years from now. So they don't have to disprove it either. See, that's what they're doing. They're trying to make it an unreachable goal that we'll never see. It boggles my mind. It really does. It sends it for a total loop when these idiots do this shit. Makes me want to bang my head against a wall. Really, really hard. Be very, very quiet. We hunting rabbits. I don't know. Don't forget, let's see, there are more than 31,487 American scientists to date who have signed a petition challenging the climate change narrative, and 9,029 of them hold PhDs in their respective field. Florida, it's not us, though. I don't know. Also, many of the scientists who signed the petition were likely encouraged to speak out in favor of the truth after retired senior NASA atmospheric scientist John L. Casey revealed that solar cycles are largely responsible for warming periods on Earth, not human activity. And if you noticed, They have said that the exactly the hold on. Trying to get my thoughts together. I went a little too fast. The time that we did have a little bit warming, we didn't have a lot of snow. The winters were pretty warm. But now we're getting some colder weather during the winter and these polar vortexes. And it's coinciding. It's almost tit for tat, time-wise, with the solar flares. It's not the first time that it's happened in our history. This happened before. I remember in the 70s, and I was born in 71, and I can remember oh my God, we're heading towards another ice age. And if anything, that's what the scientists say we're more closer to, is another ice age. Because there's no more less solar flares. But the Al Gore and cronies continue getting richer from the global warming hoax. And if you look at some of these not scientists, people that are pushing it, their wealth keeps going up the more that they yip about this. Al Gore is the perfect person. Bernie Sanders is another one. Obama. The only thing they're doing with the global warming is lining their pockets. That's it. Nothing else. It really pisses me off. We're being taken advantage of as citizens of this great country. They are abusing us. And they even go so far, as I said before, they think they're all better than us. Here's Al Gore's wealth. And if you're still inclined to believe what Al Gore has to say about global warming, please consider the fact that since he embarked on his crusade, his wealth has grown from $2 million in 2001 to $100 million in 2016, largely due to investments in fake green tech companies and effective embezzlement of numerous grants and loans. Al Gore is likely to become the world's first carbon billionaire. And if a lot of laws that he was pushing for when he first got out of office, if they would have been put into effect overnight, he would have become an instant billionaire. He has a lot of stake in this game for these green efforts to be put in place. Watch AOC's wealth. Her wealth is going to skyrocket now that she's in office and she's pushing for the global warming bullshit. Tell you what, I want you to comment on that section. If you on Twitter, it's Jersey Joe Talks. On Facebook, just search for Jersey Joe and you'll find me. Don't forget to hit like on both of them. Tell me what you think about that topic. We're going to jump on to the next one. This one's a couple days old, but of course, I've been out of the loop for a little bit, so I'm a little bit old here. Donald Trump's approval rating is at 52%. It's been a 9-point jump in about 10 days. 9-point jump. And what's funny is in the weeks following his State of Union address, which it was like a 72% approval rating. Yeah, last Tuesday I was going to start back, by the way. I was like, wait a minute. Oh, God. State of the Union address tonight. That one be good. I'd be just putting that State of the Union address on, and that would have been it. And he talked for a very, very, very long time, which I love this speech. I loved it. At the end of January, his approval ratings had dropped down to 43. But strong job numbers released in February and successful State of the Union address appeared to have had the effect on his approval numbers. And what's really funny is they keep blaming Trump for... They can blame whoever they want. If you look at numbers, the government shutdown did not affect his numbers. In fact, they've gone up. Pelosi's numbers, they have bombed down. Big time. The two B's, bomb big. What do you mean I can't say bomb? What if I was a bombardier? Bomb, bada, bomb, bada, bang, bada, bang. I'll never get that movie out of my head. I love it. Oh, while I'm watching this, I got my Flyers game on. 2 defensemen just went in on the rush. And, yeah, I think it was 2. Well, anyway, they got the goal. And they're pushing for more. More. The last time Trump earned a 52% approval ratings was from Rasmussen was in March of 2017. People, his approval rating's better than they report. We all know it. We are not dumb. They don't want you to know his actual ratings because if we did, we wouldn't believe all the bullshit that the Democrats are spewing. And they're hurting themselves, too, because what I find funny is, and it's not like ha-ha funny, irony funny. You got in Virginia, you got that whole debacle going, blackface, and sexual assault charges against, the lieutenant governor? And the blackface thing, I think it's ironic. Kavanaugh, they tried delving into his past. And they are mandating that everybody believes the women. And for those that didn't keep up with that, the one main accuser dropped her complaint once he was nominated to Supreme Court. She just dropped it. 2 of the other women have now admitted that they lied and made false accusations against him, as people were saying the whole time. But the Democrats are sitting, we got to believe the women, we got to investigate this, he's guilty, he can't be a Supreme Court justice, he's guilty. But now you got one of their own, another one, sexual assault, and one of the women is claiming rape. And what I find funny is, now all of a sudden we got to see the facts before we have him resign. We got to see the facts. Oh, we got to see what's going on. No. That's called a double standard that you have. And it's bullshit. But it's showing who they are. Now, do I outright believe 20, 30-year-old accusations? Not right off the bat. Too easy to... All right, well, oh, shit, it's that time again. We're going to go to break, I think. What? Sorry. I have nothing ready. But we're going to go to break. Let me finish that thought first. It's not that I don't believe the women, but waiting 20 years, never saying really anything. Sort of like Trump. I didn't believe a lot of the accusations. I don't believe any of the accusations. Not because I'm a Trump supporter, but for how many years he was in the spotlight. How many years could those women have come forward? He had less power then. They could have came forward and said, this is what he did, this is what he said. And nothing. But now that he's running for office as a Republican, boom, all this stuff happens. It's kind of funny that it does. You have the woman with the Judge Moore. Nothing's happened with that. That woman disappeared, ruined that guy's life, and just, boom, nothing. We got to be a little bit more vigilant when it comes to this shit. All right, I'm going to head set a break. You're listening to the Reaver Common Sense, sponsored by Antrobus Custom Wood. If you need anything made, even the normal, but if you need out of the ordinary, check him out. You can reach him through Antrobus.one. That's ANTROBUS.ONE. Just check out his stuff. Send him an email, sales@Antrobus.one. That's sales@ANTROBUS.ONE. And tell him what you need made. And I bet you he'll be able to make it or make something similar and just totally blow your mind. Some of the stuff I've seen, it blew my mind. So, well, of course. I'm not someone that likes to deceive. Of course I like the work. I'm the one that's doing it. Of course I'm sponsoring my own show. Of course. Why else wouldn't I? If you need any of the work, contact me. All right. I'm still trying to get back used to all this. Give me time. All right, you're listening to the Reaver of Common Sense right here on SHR Media, and we will be right back.
You're listening to the SHR Media Network.
You're listening to the SHR Media Network.
Good evening. Broadcasting behind enemy lines in occupied California, the bloviating Zeppelin's Berserk Bobcat Saloon radio show is featured on the SHR Media Network every Tuesday and Thursday night for 2 hours at 11 p.m. Eastern and 8 p.m. Pacific. Whilst manufacturers are running out of metal for the diapers of the leftists, BZ continues to radically change the world of leftists, one diaper at a time. Stop balancing your checkbooks. Stop cleaning your fish tanks. The bloviating Zeppelin's Berserk Bobcat Saloon radio show is your magnet for truth, justice, obesity, a darkened studio, and late-night freedom. No United States of America freedoms were abridged in the making of this ad.
Human by race, Christian by faith, American by nationality, and conservative by choice. Reverend Ralph J. Chittum Sr. is the right guy on SHR Media from 8:05 to 9 p.m. Monday through Friday. And if on the rare occasion I am ever wrong, I will still always be right. The right guy on SHR Media.
In a world controlled by corrupt politicians, a team of ordinary men emerge from the ashes to give voice to the voiceless, hope to the hopeless, clues to the clueless. Sackheads Sean, Sackheads Clint, and Sackheads BZ. The Sackheads Radio Show every Wednesday at 8 p.m. Pacific and 11 p.m. Eastern on shrmedia.com. Watch on YouTube, Facebook, and the High Plains Pundit Network. The best in late-night conservative talk. The Sackheads Radio Show, only on the SHR Media Network.
Go ahead, I'll say it again.
Some of the best A-roll is going to be B-roll.
Like, what are you talking about? What do you mean? Just the last question that you cut a couple seconds ago. Yeah, I'm a freaking artist. I can't just come up with this shit off the top of my head. Are you freaking kidding me right now?
Good point. Exactly right. Oh, God.
Hey, this is Michael Wright.
And I'm Shannon Wright.
Join us for The Right Way with Shannon and Mike, Monday through Thursday from 7 to 9 a.m. right here on SHR Media.
Why are they joining us?
For fun things like sports, politics.
Oh, maybe some news and entertainment?
And all kinds of other things.
Money and recipes and events, all kinds of stuff.
Yeah, so join us Monday through Thursday, 7 to 9 a.m. here on shrmedia.com.
When dirty politicians, shadow governments, and deceptive Islam blind the world with fake stream media smoke, their only fear is one man with a cane. I'm Dave Milner. Join me through shrmedia.com, highplainstalkradio.com, and the Western Free Radio Network at Spreaker, YouTube, and iTunes for a different perspective weekly on the Unpleasant Blind Guy. And catch me on Jeff Mitchell's EDL Radio on blogtalkradio.com. There's
no surrender ever.
Because truth is not always pleasant.
This is Sam on SHR Media. You can listen to my new show starting on Tuesdays in January. Get my perspective on national politics, a conservative's perspective on California politics, the latest in the war on terror, all of that and a lot more here on Tuesdays at SHR Media. And don't forget to follow me on Twitter at Sam_SHR Media.
Beware, the Jersey Takeover is here. Every Monday through Friday, 9 p.m. to 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, you can catch Reaver Common Sense Show hosted by Jersey Joe, right here on shrmedia.com. Only Jersey can deliver hell like no one else. So consider this your fair warning.
Hey, this is Sackhead Clint, and I'm with Sackhead Sean, Sackhead BZ. No communists allowed on the SHR Media Network.
Damn straight, mister.
Back to the show.
Conservative media done right. You're listening to the SHR Media Network.
You're listening. Contact is the evening.
Now back to Reaver Common Sense with Jersey Joe.
This show contains language that some viewers may find offensive. Listener discretion is advised. And now on to the show. And welcome back to the Reaver Common Sense. I'm your host, Jersey Joe, and I'm here to make sense out of the senseless. God, it's been so long since I've been on here. My wife's glad I'm out of her hair. She's like, yes. He's not here to bug me. Yeah, yeah. She's like doing a dance out there and shit. Don't forget this show is sponsored by Antrobus Custom Wood. Check them out at www.antrobus, that's ANTROBUS.ONE. All right, let's see, where are we? Ooh. So the Senate Intel panel is wrapping up soon of its investigation into possible collusion between the 2016 Trump presidential campaign and Russia. And those claiming the two parties colluded may be in for a rude awakening, according to a new report. Oh, goody. We wasted how many billions of dollars on this crap? And someone once was like, well, you wasted how much money on Benghazi? How many people died in the election? How many people lied about it? Oh, yeah. The Senate Intel, it's NBC News, citing Democrats and Republicans, reports the panel's 2-year investigation has yet to uncover direct evidence of conspiracy between Trump campaign officials and the Kremlin. However, the report claims lawmakers are at odds along party lines when it comes to implications of a pattern of contacts members of the two parties had before and after the Democrat National Committee emails were hacked. If we write a report based upon the facts that we have, then we don't have anything that would suggest there was collusion by the Trump campaign and Russia. Senate Intel Committee Chairman Richard Burr told CBS News last week, We know we're getting to the bottom of the barrel because there are not new questions that we're searching for answers to, he added. Several unnamed Democrat lawmakers told NBC that while they concur with Burr's statement, they lack the appropriate context. I love this. I love this bullshit. Quote, we were never going to find a contract signed in blood saying, hey, Vlad, we're going to collude, a Democrat staffer told the news outlet. President Donald Trump on Sunday welcomed Burr's statement, tweeting, Senator Rich Burr, the chairman of the Senate Intel Committee, just announced that after almost 2 years, more than 200 interviews, and thousands of dollars, they have found no collusion between Trump and Russia. Is anybody really surprised by this? I'm not. I said since the beginning, this is bullshit. It was started when Trump was still a candidate. There was, research done on Hillary Clinton's side. And the one thing that hurt her and where her numbers dropped were, and this is before, the whole campaign got started. They were polling people, asking them questions. As soon as Russia and her contact with Russia, her working with Vladimir Putin, the big red button and all that, the Uranium One deal, her numbers dropped almost into the single-digit support. So what they did is, we're going to accuse Trump first to nullify them talking about Hillary's connection. Said it before, the only connection to fucking Russia is between Obama and Hillary. Those two colluded for years. Okay? Remember their tune in 2012? Obama saying to Romney that the 1980s want their policy back when Romney said that Russia was the number one enemy. Remember that? See, the other thing is, they knew what Trump was going to be able to do. Trump's standing up to Russia, and Russia, Vladimir Putin, if anything, I don't know the man, but from what I've seen of him, he is a man that respects strengths. He'll respect that. He did not respect Obama. Oh, what was Obama? Right before 2012 election. Once I get reelected again, I'll have a lot of room. I won't have to answer to anybody. Remember he said that to one of the Russian translator to send to Vladimir Putin, I think it was. Remember that? I do. But it's Trump. And let me tell you something with what is it? Representative Shithead, Shift, cocksucker, douchebag, whatever you want to call the asshole. Now, this is the same guy that went out in public, threw a temper tantrum behind a camera, claiming that the Benghazi survivors, the ones that came forward, were lying. He said that safely behind a camera. He would never say it to their face. When asked to come forward and, talk with the men, he didn't say, no. He's calling guys that were there, were in the fight, know exactly what happened, as he sat his pussy ass behind a desk, safely here in the United States. But he knows more what happened there than the guys that were there fighting. And now that Schiff, is investigating Trump. I wouldn't believe him if he said the sky was blue outside. That guy would lie about his mother. That guy has no morals, sick bastard, and a real despicable person. Think I don't like the guy? Listen, I can respect several. Manchin out of Virginia. I disagree with his gun stance. But I can respect the guy. I respect him. I don't agree with him, but I can respect him. He is a person that has, on several times, come forward. And, hey, you know what? This is right. That's right. It doesn't matter what the party lines are, it seems like, with him. I can respect that. Can't respect a shithead. And this makes me wonder why. Democrat investigators believe it will take up to 7 months to write its final report on their investigation and claim they may not even reach a conclusion as to whether collusion occurred. 7 months. 7 fucking months to write a paper. Holy shit. Burr has signaled this is the reality he and other Republicans are prepared for. What I'm telling you is that I'm going to present as best we can the facts to you and to the American people, he said. And you'll have to draw your own conclusion as to whether you think that by whatever definition, that's collusion. Not that even collusion is against the law. I'm not advocating for it. And everything I have read about, surprise, surprise, had Hillary stole. Have in favor of Russia. She's the one that got millions of dollars. She's the one that wanted to do a reset. I mean, really, people, look at the facts. Take parties out of it and look at what actions. Look what actually occurred. And don't give me, because Trump said he hopes. They also, what I'm meaning is they're hiding behind the, and if Russia has the missing emails, I hope they send it to us. He wasn't asking them to hack her server. He was asking them, since supposedly they had already hacked her server, if they had copies of these emails that she had deleted, if they would send them on over. And that's the... Have you ever noticed the only time you're allowed to be funny is when Democrats fuck up? Then you're allowed to say it's funny. Hang on a second. Sorry, I was reading an update. One of my an old friend of mine, he got diagnosed with stage 4 cancer, and there was a little bit of an update. He's a fighter, and he's fighting it. So my prayers go out to him and his family. With that, You're listening to the Reaver Common Sense, sponsored by Antrobus Custom Woods. You know what? I had totally screwed up to get the commercial ready again. Damn. I can't say it's because I haven't been on in a while. What's going on? There we go. There we go. I can't even say because I haven't been on air in a while because, well, I did it before. Always forgot to get ready for the next commercial. All right, you're listening to the Reaver Common Sense right here on SHR Media, and we will be right back.
You're listening to the SHR Media Network.
You're listening to the SHR Media Network.
Good evening. Broadcasting behind enemy lines in occupied California, the bloviating Zeppelin's Berserk Bobcat Saloon radio show is featured on the SHR Media Network every Tuesday and Thursday night for 2 hours at 11 p.m. Eastern and 8 p.m. Pacific. Whilst manufacturers are running out of metal for the diapers of the leftists, BZ continues to radically change the world of leftists, one diaper at a time. Stop balancing your checkbooks. Stop cleaning your fish tanks. The bloviating Zeppelin's Berserk Bobcat Saloon radio show is your magnet for truth, justice, obesity, a darkened studio, and late-night freedom. No United States of America freedoms were abridged in the making of this ad.
Human by race, Christian by faith, American by nationality, and conservative by choice. Reverend Ralph J. Chittum Sr. is the right guy on SHR Media from 8:05 to 9 p.m. Monday through Friday. And if on the rare occasion I am ever wrong, I will still always be right. The right guy on SHR Media.
In a world controlled by corrupt politicians, a team of ordinary men emerge from the ashes to give voice to the voiceless, hope to the hopeless, clues to the clueless. Sackheads Sean, Sackheads Clint, and Sackheads BZ. The Sackheads Radio Show every Wednesday at 8 p.m. Pacific and 11 p.m. Eastern on shrmedia.com. Watch on YouTube, Facebook, and the High Plains Pundit Network. The best in late-night conservative talk. The Sackheads Radio Show, only on the SHR Media Network.
Go ahead, I'll say it again.
Some of the best A-roll is going to be B-roll.
Like, what are you talking about? What do you mean? Just the last commercial that you cut a couple seconds. Yeah, I'm a freaking artist. I can't just come up with this shit off the top of my head. Are you freaking kidding me right now?
Good point. Exactly right.
Hey, this is Michael Wright.
And I'm Shannon Wright.
Join us for The Right Way with Shannon and Mike, Monday through Thursday from 7 to 9 a.m. right here on SHR Media.
Why are they joining us?
For fun things like sports, politics.
Oh, maybe some news and entertainment?
And all kinds of other things.
Money and recipes and events, all kinds of stuff.
Yeah, so join us Monday through Thursday, 7 to 9 a.m. here on shrmedia.com.
When dirty politicians, shadow governments, and deceptive Islam blind the world with fake stream media smoke, their only fear is one man with a cane. I'm Dave Milner. Join me through shrmedia.com, highplainstalkradio.com, and the Western Free Radio Network at Spreaker, YouTube, and iTunes for a different perspective weekly on the Unpleasant Blind Guy. And catch me on Jeff Mitchell's EDL Radio on blogtalkradio.com. There's
no surrender ever.
Because truth is not always pleasant.
This is Sam on SHR Media. You can listen to my new show starting on Tuesdays in January. Get my perspective on national politics, a conservative's perspective on California politics, the latest in the war on terror, all of that and a lot more here on Tuesdays at SHR Media. And don't forget to follow me on Twitter at Sam_SHR Media.
Beware, the Jersey Takeover is here. Every Monday through Friday, 9 p.m. to 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, you can catch Reaver Common Sense Show hosted by Jersey Joe, right here on shrmedia.com. Only Jersey can deliver hell like no one else. So consider this your fair warning.
Hey, this is Sackhead Clint, and I'm with Sackhead Sean, Sackhead BZ. No communists allowed on the SHR Media Network.
Damn straight, mister.
Back to the show.
Conservative media done right. You're listening to the SHR Media Network.
Pay no attention to the muffled screams in the background. You are listening to the Reaver of Common Sense right here on the SHR Media Network. Back to you, Joe.
This show contains language that some viewers may find offensive. Listener discretion is advised. And now on to the show. And welcome back to the Reaver of Common Sense. I am your host, Jersey Joe, and I'm here to make sense out of the senseless. Let's see if I can get this connected. Power on. Power on. Uh-oh. There we go. Come on. Oh, boy. So many electronics, so few time. Now, why isn't that working properly? Michael? Oh, sorry about this. I just got a little issue here I'm working on or trying to work on. This is totally weird. That is absolutely weird. All right. We will get back to that in a little bit. Trying to pair a keyboard with a device in my room, and it's telling me to type in a code, like if it was and you can't. Oh, I'll have to work on it later. So, Camille Harris, she was out there announcing that she will be running for president. Oh, what's funny is that guy she had an affair with has said that she can't beat Trump. All the polls are showing that. Not that polls are defining. The polls are showing that really the only one that could beat Trump would be Biden. Now, the question is, could Biden win the primaries? And that's a big question right there. But Camille Harris is a Democratic presidential hopeful, has a long history of gun control support. Some of her best-known gun control pushes have been for bans on commonly owned semi-automatic firearms and firearms accessories. But the historical record also finds her taking pains to make concealed carry permits more difficult for law-abiding citizens to obtain. Yeah. Why did I put these in? It just gets me aggravated. Taken together, her gun control history presents a would-be presidential candidate at war with the Second Amendment in the same way that Hillary Clinton warred against it in 2016. How'd that do for Hillary Clinton? A ban on commonly owned semi-automatic firearms. Whether you look at Harris's time as California Attorney General or reviews through the prism of her current office as Senator, she is opposed to Americans owning some of the most popular semi-automatic firearms on the market. Harris wants a ban that covers AR-15s and AK-47s, as well as numerous semi-automatic shotguns and similar firearms. She presents such a ban as a solution to crime. That is some of the dumbest I've heard. Oh, my God. As if such firearms are the weapons of choice for criminals. However, FBI crime stats show that over 4 times as many people are stabbed to death annually than are killed with rifles of any kind. Any kind of rifle. That's not talking just AR-15s. That's talking any rifles. 30-06s, 30-30s. You know, the list goes on. More people are stabbed. Ban on bump stocks. Bump stocks are a firearm accessory that allows semi-automatic firearms to mimic fully automatic ones for a brief time. Such stocks do not convert semi-automatic into automatic. Rather, they help the gun owner use a bump fire technique to shoot faster, but with far less accuracy. Bump stocks have been used criminally one time since they were invented. A ban on the device would not have prevented a single, let me rephrase that, would not have prevented a single mass shooting in the United States during the 21st century. Now, she wants to ban 18-year-olds to 20-year-olds from buying long guns. Harris wants to ban 18 to 20-year-olds from buying long guns. She undertook this push after the February 14, 2018 attack on the Parkland High School, in which a gunman opened fire inside a building while a deputy stood outside and refused to confront him. She has not said whether other constitutional rights of 18 to 20-year-olds, like freedom of speech and of religion, would remain inviolated. But Second Amendment rights would not be enjoyed until the age of 21, unless we go to war. Then they get a rifle shoved in their arms, and they're responsible enough to go kill people then. Think about it. And it goes to, all right, we're infringing on their rights because of their age at 18 to 20. They can buy cigarettes. They could buy handguns. Well, not in all states. In a lot of states, yeah, they could buy, they just can't carry. Think that this is going to stop mass shootings. This is going to stop criminals from breaking the law. If laws stop people from committing crimes, if one more law on guns stop people from killing each other, wouldn't murder having murder against the law cover all of that? But as we see, it is very well, people ignore that. Just like they would ignore any of the laws that are put against guns. They do it now, they would still do it. All these is feel-good laws. We have so many laws on the books for guns. And guess what? We still have criminals shooting people. Still have criminals using guns to break laws. She also, and there's a bill going to be coming across the House very, very soon that will criminalize private sales. Harris supports the criminalization of private gun sales. Such criminalizations would be accomplished via universal background check, which Harris strongly supports. Americans have enjoyed private gun sales since 1791, the year the Second Amendment was ratified. But under a framework supported by Harris and House Democrats, it would be a criminal act for a neighbor to sell a gun to a lifelong neighbor without getting government's permission via a background check. It would also criminalize family from selling or giving, trading. Me and my brother have traded guns. He liked this one, I like that one. How are they going to enforce it? Some states don't have registration. Here in Florida, there's no gun registration. We have background checks, but no gun registration. We could sell privately. If they were serious about it, they wouldn't say, well, we're going to make it against the law. Here, we'll give you access to this system so that you can research your neighbor if you want to trade guns, to make sure that nothing illegal is going to go down. Harris's efforts would do nothing to stop mass shooters, because nearly every mass shooter already acquired his guns via background check. They don't tell you that people in these shootings have already passed a background check, or they've stolen the fucking weapons. They're going to commit a crime. Once that time in their head, it goes, boop. Once that time happens, that says they're going to do this act, and they start planning how to get a gun to commit the crime, or say, I'm going to use this gun in their head to commit a crime, they are a criminal. What they want to make guns so hard to get, make it so impossible for you to get it, you won't want one. You're listening to the Reaver of Common Sense right here on SHR Media, and we will be right back.
You're listening to the SHR Media Network.
breaking news. According to the latest report coming out of SHR Media, a merchandise store to support both the Reaver of Common Sense and SHR Media has just been unleashed to the general public. Be forewarned that this site can be contagious and numerous items can be purchased to support the best news programming. Go to Reaver.one website and click on the store link to check out the merchandise.
Listening to Reaver of Common Sense, hosted by my dad, Jersey Joe. Beware, the Jersey Takeover is here. Every Monday through Friday, 9 p.m. till 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, you can catch Reaver Common Sense Show hosted by Jersey Joe, right here on shrmedia.com. Only Jersey can deliver hell like no one else. So consider this your fair warning.
Hello, I'm Tim Hart. I'm the guy BZ hires, due to his shameless contract with the SHR Media Network, to voice his promos. He'd like me to tell you that the Bloviating Zeppelin's Berserk Bobcat Saloon radio show can be found on SHR Media Network, Spreaker, and YouTube every Tuesday and Thursday night at 11 p.m. Eastern and 8 p.m. Pacific, featuring right thinking from a left brain and doing the job the American media maggots won't. You'll find that the speech is free, but the drinks are not. There, in the saloon, just when safety pin manufacturers are running out of metal for the diapers of the leftists, BZ is sending his personal drones of freedom into the wheelhouses and ossicles of lovers of sovereignty and liberty nationally and globally. Broadcasting behind enemy lines in occupied California, BZ swears that no rights were harmed in the making of this promo.
In a world controlled by corrupt politicians,
You got a business. That you didn't build that.
a team of ordinary men emerge from the ashes to give voice to the voiceless and hope to the hopeless. Sackhead Sean.
Dude, I'm not saying cap for the stupid promo.
Sackhead Clint.
All good friends of ours usually show up drunk.
Also starring Sacco as the producer.
I'm a little bit drunk, 'cause I'm drinking.
They are the Sackheads Radio Show. Every Wednesday at 8 p.m. Pacific on shrmedia.com.
Hey, it's Sean from the Sackheads Radio Show, also one of the owners here at the SHR Media Network. Are you opinionated? Have you ever wanted to do your own show? Have you ever heard somebody like the Sackheads and go, yeah, I could probably do that better? Well, now's your chance. Send me a 5-minute clip at sackheadsradio@gmail.com, and maybe you can be part of the SHR broadcasting team. sackheadsradio@gmail.com.
This is Jersey Joe, host of the Reaver of Common Sense, and you're listening to shrmedia.com.
Times are dark. The people misled by corrupt politicians, lied to by establishment media, and deceived by the false messages of Islam. A nation in confusion needs a guide. It needs a man with a cane. I'm Dave Milner. Join me on Spreaker, SHR Media, High Plains Talk Radio, Live Rebooting Liberty, and YouTube for a unique brand of commentary on the unpleasant blind guide. Because truth is not always pleasant.
Human by race, Christian by faith, American by nationality, and conservative by choice. Reverend Ralph J. Chittum Sr. is the right guy on SHR Media from 8:05 to 9 p.m. Monday through Friday. And if on the rare occasion I am ever wrong, I will still always be right. The right guy on SHR Media.
listening to the SHR Media Network.
This show contains language that some viewers may find offensive. Listener discretion is advised. And now on to the show. And welcome back to the Reaver of Common Sense. I'm your host, Jersey Joe. I'm here to make sense out of the senseless. Oh, man. I got a doctor's appointment tomorrow, and I was thinking 2 o'clock it was, and I just went out and looked at the form. I'm like, oh, shit, it's 10:30. Oh, what sucks is we're supposed to sit down and talk with the in-laws about a few things they wanted to talk about, and we're supposed to call at 11. I'm like, shit. Damn it. I just totally foobarred. Oh, I'm going to hear a lot of shit for that. I totally just not looking. Just, I thought it was 2 o'clock. I could have sworn it was 2 o'clock. All right. Let's see. Yeah, these idiots that push this gun control. They're not interested in stopping crime. They don't do shit in Chicago to try to help stop the murder rate that's going on in that city. They don't give a shit. Ooh. How am I getting a crossover on that? Somehow I was getting a little feedback from the TV. There's no interest at all for the people. They want to ban. Democrats are coming out socialists, talking about banning guns, and you tell me what they're up to. Socialism is not a people-friendly government. Also, Kamala Harris is fight against concealed carry. During her time as California Attorney General, Harris fought against citizens' ability to secure a concealed carry permit. She did the most obviously in her fight to preserve the good cause requirement in California's concealed carry law. That requirement means a citizen who has no criminal record and therefore no reason to be denied a carry permit must still convince the state that he or she has good cause for carrying a gun for self-defense. On February 13, 2014, Breitbart News reported that a 3-judge panel of the Ninth Circuit Court struck down the good clause requirement. A.G. Harris responded by pressuring the court to rehear the case, which the court did. As a result, they overturned the earlier decision and upheld the good clause requirement, giving the state final say in who can and cannot get a concealed carry license. That right there makes me go, what's going on there? You know, they were all like, oh, good clause is against the Constitution. Oh, wait a minute. She wants us to rehear. Oh, I'm sorry. Did we miss the wink, wink, nod, nod on the first one? It's fucking ridiculous. And now you got this little twerp, David Hogg. About the AR-15s. You are not defending yourself. You are hunting a human being. Damn. My AR-15's broke. Because it never went hunting humans. Tuesday on MSNBC's Andrea Mitchell reports, gun control advocate David Hogg said he was working to ban assault rifles in his home state of Florida. Discussing working with relatives of some of the 17 people killed at last year's mass shooting at Marjorie Stoneman Douglas Hogg said, sometimes it does have to be state by state. Even at the state level, sometimes they don't want to work with us. That's why in Florida yesterday, along with several family members of people that were lost in the shooting at my high school, we introduced a ballot initiative that we are working on getting right now to ban assault weapons in the state like the one that the shooter at my high school used, so that no other person can get their hands on them. Is this kid retarded or just stupid? Seriously, is he retarded or stupid? Because if you think by banning an AR-15 it's going to stop somebody from getting their fucking hands on it, you are stupid. Oh. Right now he's winning the helmet-wearing, window-licking moron of the year award. He added, the truth of the matter is weapons like the AR-15 have an effective range of over 1,500 meters. If you're using the weapon within an effective range of over 1,500 meters, you are not defending yourself. You are hunting a human being, and I don't think any civilian needs to have their hands on a military weapon like that. Talk about stretching facts. Talk about stretching fucking facts. Well, let's go into that. Let's go into that. I found an older article that already debunked this bullshit. Well, I don't want to say 100 debunked. I'll explain later. But this is going back a couple years ago. I mean, I think Obama was still in office, and Pierce Morgan actually had a show. And they argued that the AR-15s are not hunting rifles and should face significant gun legislation, which this moron of a kid's doing. This contention is one that stems from ignorance or willful disregard for facts. In reality, AR-15s make excellent hunting rifles and are normally used for that purpose. They are configured via a separate upper and lower part that make it possible for the user to configure the rifle for various types of bullet cartridges, depending on what game is being hunted and what bullet the rifle is configured to fire. Virtually all AR-15 rifles are useful for hunting. The confusion may arise from the fact that the AR-15 rifle is what some gun enthusiasts refer to as a platform, which means it has a modular component that can be swapped out. Rifles have what is referred to as a receiver. The receiver is the part of the firearm that houses the operating parts, like the trigger and the firing bolts. AR-15 rifles have two major parts to the receiver, called the upper and the lower. The upper part can be changed on the same rifle. So while many AR-15s are chambered for 223s or the 5.56, they can also be chambered for the 20 or 204 Ruger, 5.728, .243 Winchester, .260 Rem, 6.5 Gridell, 6.5 Creedmoor, 6.8 SPC, 7mm, .30 Rim, 7.62 by 39, which is what is fired in the AR-15, 308, 338 Lopal, I know I'm screwing that up, 338 Federal, 450 Bushmaster, 458, 50 Beowulf, 50 BMGs, and those are .50, I should say, and even 9mm, .40 caliber, and .45 ACP handgun cartridges. Now, the AR platform is known for its accuracy, especially over long distance. For some types of hunting, this characteristic is particularly useful for successful hunts. Each bullet type has a varying effective range. Now, the most common And the ones that have been used in very few mass shootings have been 223. 223 has an effective range of 400 to 600 meters. Now you're going to say, well, that hog lied. Technically, he didn't. Now, the AR-15 chambered on 308 has an effective range to 800 meters. Now, the 338 has an effective range of about 1,500 meters. And the 50 cal BMG has the range of about 1 mile. Okay? The ones that have been used are in 223, which has a range of 400 to 600 meters. Not the 1,600 that David Hogg was out there crying wolf on. And that's what he was doing, out there crying wolf, twisting and stretching the facts. To suit his needs. This kid, and if I remember right, he wasn't even there. He left early the day of the shooting. But they put him up on this pedestal. And what they don't tell you is they don't let the family members that are against all these gun control measures, they blocked them from talking. They did it right after the shooting. Hell, the Democrats are doing it to a House member. What is it, Scalise, the one that got shot a year or two ago? The Democrats will not let him speak like they're letting anti-gun family members of gun violence speak. Hell, I've been blocked by pretty much every anti-gun Twitter account. And I've never screamed, yelled, cussed. I've gave them the scenario of my family and asked them where their laws would have helped. Immediately blocked because they can't fucking answer them and they don't want it in the discussion. They don't want it out there that their rules that they're proposing, their laws, are bullshit. That their rules will stop no one. It will not stop a single fucking shooting. Not a one. And if they're so worried about preserving life, they wouldn't be back in New York and their abortion laws. Because the only time that they worry about preserving life is when it's preserving an illegal's life or a criminal. They're against the death penalty. They're against putting a criminal, a hardened criminal, to death. They are against legal, law-abiding citizens from protecting themselves against criminals. They are for the criminals, period. All right, you're listening to the Reaver of Common Sense. Don't forget, coming up next in about 20 minutes will be BZ's Berserk Bobcat Saloon. Hopefully I said that right. It's been a while since I've said it, BZ. All right, we'll be right back after these brief messages.
You're listening to the SHR Media Network.
Breaking news. According to the latest report coming out of SHR Media, A merchandise store to support both the Reaver of Common Sense and SHR Media has just been unleashed to the general public. Be forewarned that this site can be contagious and numerous items can be purchased to support the best news programming. Go to Reaver.one website and click on the store link to check out the merchandise.
Listening to Reaver of Common Sense, hosted by my dad, Jersey Joe. Beware, the Jersey Takeover is here. Every Monday through Friday, 9 p.m. to 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You can catch Reaver Common Sense Show hosted by Jersey Joe right here on shrmedia.com. Only Jersey can deliver hell like no one else. So consider this your fair warning.
Hello, I'm Tim Hart. I'm the guy BZ hires, due to his shameless contract with the SHR Media Network, to voice his promos. He'd like me to tell you that the Bloviating Zeppelin's Berserk Bobcat Saloon radio show can be found on SHR Media Network, Spreaker, and YouTube every Tuesday and Thursday night at 11 p.m. Eastern and 8 p.m. Pacific, featuring right thinking from a left brain and doing the job the American media maggots won't. You'll find that the speech is free, but the drinks are not. There, in the saloon, just when safety pin manufacturers are running out of metal for the diapers of the leftists, BZ is sending his personal drones of freedom into the wheelhouses and ossicles of lovers of sovereignty and liberty nationally and globally. Broadcasting behind enemy lines in occupied California, BZ swears that no rights were harmed in the making of this promo.
In a world controlled by corrupt politicians,
You got a business. That you didn't build that.
a team of ordinary men emerge from the ashes to give voice to the voiceless and hope to the hopeless. Sackhead Sean.
Dude, I'm not saying cap for the stupid promo.
Sackhead Clint.
All good friends of ours usually show up drunk.
Also starring Sacco as the producer.
I'm a little bit drunk, 'cause I'm drinking.
They are the Sackheads Radio Show. Every Wednesday at 8 p.m. Pacific on shrmedia.com.
Hey, it's Sean from the Sackheads Radio Show, also one of the owners here at the SHR Media Network. Are you opinionated? Have you ever wanted to do your own show? Have you ever heard somebody like the Sackheads and go, yeah, I could probably do that better? Well, now's your chance. Send me a 5-minute clip at sackheadsradio@gmail.com, and maybe you can be part of the SHR broadcasting team. sackheadsradio@gmail.com.
This is Jersey Joe, host of the Reaver of Common Sense, and you're listening to shrmedia.com.
Times are dark. The people misled by corrupt politicians, lied to by establishment media, and deceived by the false messages of Islam. A nation in confusion needs a guide. It needs a man with a cane. I'm Dave Milner. Join me on Spreaker, SHR Media, High Plains Talk Radio, Live Rebooting Liberty, and YouTube for a unique brand of commentary on the unpleasant blind guide. Because truth is not always pleasant.
Human by race, Christian by faith, American by nationality, and conservative by choice. Reverend Ralph J. Chittum Sr. is the right guy on SHR Media from 8:05 to 9 p.m. Monday through Friday. And if on the rare occasion I am ever wrong, I will still always be right. The right guy on SHR Media.
listening to the SHR Media Network.
This show contains language that some viewers may find offensive. Listener discretion is advised. And now on to the show. And welcome back to the Reaver Common Sense. I'm your host, Jersey Joe, and I'm here to make sense out of the senseless. Don't forget the show's been sponsored by Antrobus Custom Wood. I can't think of a catchy line after that. I just got Antrobus Custom Wood. Bringing your dreams to come true? I mean, I don't know if that's actually true. If you need something built out of wood and you can't find it in the stores, even if you can find it in the stores, come to me. I'm going to make it better. I'm going to make it so it lasts. I don't know. I'm just, I don't know what they're thinking anymore. Camille Harris, she's also the one that's sitting there boasting how during college she was doing bong hits while listening to Snoop Dogg. Who's the other one? And Tupac. Which is fine and dandy. Here's the problem. They hadn't even done a record yet. They still were nobodies. So how did she get these CDs of Snoop Dogg and Tupac so she could do bong hits? And then she's prancing around. I broke the law. Fuck you. You can't do nothing about it. I broke the law. And you got supporters going, oh, bravo, bravo, lady. You go with it. You tell us how you broke the law and want to be president and how we're going to follow the laws that you set, even though you don't follow them. Yeah. That doesn't say that I'm better than you. Yeah, it does. Hey, BC, what's up? Long time. Yeah, it's crazy what's going on. AR-15s, and the way that the law's set up, you can't ban an AR-15. The Supreme Court has said that if it is one of the top 10 or something, that it's one of the top popular guns, it cannot be banned. And that falls directly to the AR-15. It's one of the top weapons out there. Homeland Security, before Obama got in office, had it listed as the best home security piece you could own. It's, I don't know. Illinois Democrat. Guess what? They're pushing a assault weapons ban and firearm registration. Yeah, that's going to stop the violence of the gangbangers. I also heard they're taking a page out of California, and they're thinking about paying criminals not to commit crimes. That is one of the dumbest ideas. How about you pay the people who haven't broken a goddamn law? But with Governor J.B., whatever that douchebag's name is, at the helm and a Democrat-led majority in the House and Senate, Illinois lawmakers are pushing an assault weapons ban and firearm registration requirements. The Telegraph reports that an assault weapons ban, Senate Bill 107, is being sponsored by State Senate Julia Morrison. The legislation bans the sale of numerous commonly owned semi-automatic firearms, including certain pistols and shotguns, and requires registration of certain firearms that gun owners may already possess. certain pistols and shotguns are included. It's not just AR-15s. Don't forget, coming up, BZ's Berserk Bobcat Saloon. The first hour, he'll have Dave Milner. Dave. Dave's going to have the second hour Happy Stories, news updates, as well as U.S. leftist political chaos, including the threat of Democrat socialists and socialism itself. All right, you want to stick around? I love BZ. I love his show. Even while I was taking my break, my little hiatus, went into hiding. And let me explain. Besides some of the health issues I was having, and trying to get my company back up and running, doing a show 2 hours a day, 5 days a week, in and out, by myself. I have no one doing any prep. I do everything myself. I do the producing. I do the show. I was doing the video. I was setting all that up. I was setting the shows up, getting everything ready, the script, so to speak. And that was taking like 4 to 5 hours a day prepping for the show. And on top of it, we had an election that just went by. And let me tell you, that campaign was hard on a lot of people. It was hard on me. It took a little bit out of me. I mean, from death threats to just asinine comments that I would hear to, the fight. It was tiring. And I needed to take a break. So, took a break, back. I'll be probably doing Monday through Thursdays. I haven't decided yet. And if I get a big order, I might have to cut out a couple shows here and there. But I'm back. I'm here to annoy Sean, which isn't that hard. So, oh man, there's so much I think that we got to talk about now. It's getting crazy again. What is it? There's 10 or 11 Democrats that have announced so far that they're running, and it's still not. And also, Illinois, for you to get a gun permit and all that, they want the state police access to your social media accounts, passwords. And then they'll issue a firearm owner's identification card, a FOID card. And before you can renew, you again have to give up all your rights to let them search. And I hate this analogy, but it's really fitting them with what they're doing. They're making Adolf Hitler proud. They're attacking First Amendment rights. They're attacking, free speech, for religion. They're attacking Fourth Amendment rights. They're attacking Second Amendment rights. They're coming up with false flags. There's events that are happening. They're happening, but it seems kind of strange on their timing. And what was that? The Reichstag? I know I'm mispronouncing that. Fire. There's a lot saying that the Nazis are the one that caused that, so that they could then push for more control, more power, take guns away from people. They're not going to come out and go, "We're taking your guns away, America, 100%. It's going to be slowly. Very slow. And if they can get more socialists into our government. Remember, people, it's the people of the 60s and 70s that fought against the government and fought about what this country was, spit on our soldiers, are the very people that are in the Democrat Party and running it right now. All right, everybody, I'm going to get out of here. I want to thank everybody for listening. Don't forget, our sponsor is Antrobus Custom Wood. For your wood needs, just go to www.antrobus.one. Check it out. Check out some of the things I've made. Like I said, I've done paintings, little knickknacks to tables. And I got a new table I'm getting ready to do. And once I get, going with it, I'll pop some pictures up there. Until tomorrow, I want everybody to have a good night. And coming up next, don't forget, is BZ. Stick around. Peace. You've been listening to the Reaver of Common Sense with its host, Jersey Joe. You can tune in every day, Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, right here on hppundit.com and shrmedia.com.